HMAS Australia was a County-class heavy cruiser of the Royal Australian Navy, one of two Kent-subclass ships ordered for the RAN in 1924. Australia was laid down in Scotland in 1925, and entered service in 1928. Apart from an exchange deployment to the Mediterranean from 1934 to 1936, during which she became involved in the planned British response to the Abyssinia Crisis, Australia operated in local and southwest Pacific waters until World War II began. The cruiser remained near Australia until mid-1940, when she was deployed for duties in the eastern Atlantic, including hunts for German ships and participation in Operation Menace. During 1941, Australia operated in home and Indian Ocean waters, but was reassigned as flagship of the Anzac Squadron in early 1942. As part of this force, Australia operated in support of United States naval and amphibious operations throughout Southeast Asia until the start of 1945, including involvement in the battles at the Coral Sea in Savo Island, the amphibious landings at Guadalcanal and Leyte Gulf, and numerous actions during the New Guinea campaign. She was forced to withdraw following a series of kamikaze attacks during the invasion of Lingayen Gulf. The prioritization of shipyard work in Australia for British Pacific Fleet vessels saw the Australian cruiser sail to England for repairs, where she was at the end of the war. During the late 1940s, Australia served with the British Commonwealth Occupation Force in Japan, and participated in several port visits to other nations before being retasked as a training ship in 1950. The cruiser was decommissioned in 1954, and sold for scrapping in 1955. Design: Australia was one of 7 warships built to the Kent design of County-class heavy cruiser, which were based on design work by Eustace Dennis and Danecourt. She was designed with a standard displacement of 10,000 tons, a length between perpendiculars of 590 feet, a length overall of 630 feet 4 inches, a beam of 68 feet 3 inches, and a maximum draft of 21 feet 4 inches. The propulsion machinery consisted of 8 Yarrow superheated boilers feeding Curtis high-pressure and Parsons low-pressure geared turbines. This delivered up to 80,000 shaft horsepower to the cruiser's 4 three-bladed propellers. The cruiser's top speed was 31 knots, with a range of 2,270 nautical miles, while her economical range and cruising speed was 10,000 nautical miles at 11 knots. The ship's company consisted of 64 officers and 678 sailors in 1930. This dropped to 45 officers and 654 sailors from 1937 to 1941. While operating as flagship, Australia's company was 710. During wartime, the ship's company increased to 815. Armament and armor: Australia was designed with 8 8-inch guns in 4 twin turrets as primary armament, with 150 shells per gun. Secondary armament consisted of 4 4-inch guns in 4 single mounts, with 200 shells per gun, and 4 2-pounder pom-poms for anti-aircraft defense, with 1,000 rounds each. A mixture of 303-inch machine guns were carried for close defense work. Initially this consisted of 4 Vickers machine guns and 12 Lewis machine guns, although 4 Lewis guns were later removed. 2 sets of quadruple 21-inch torpedo tubes were fitted. 4 3-pounder quick-firing Hotchkiss guns were used as saluting guns. During her 1939 modernization, the 4 single 4-inch guns were replaced by 4 twin Mark 16 guns. The torpedo tubes were removed in 1942, and the 8-inch X-turret was taken off in 1945. The close-range anti-aircraft armament of the ship fluctuated during her career. During the mid-1930s, 2 quadruple, 5-inch machine gun mounts were installed to supplement the 303-inch weapons. These were replaced in late 1943 by 7 single 20mm Helicons. By early 1944, all 7 Helicons had been upgraded to double mountings. These were in turn replaced by 8 single 40mm Bofors guns in 1945. Australia was designed to carry a single amphibious aircraft, a Supermarine Seagull III aircraft, which was replaced in 1936 by a Supermarine Walrus. Both aircraft were operated by the Royal Australian Air Force's Fleet Cooperation Unit, initially by No. 101 Flight RAF, which was expanded in 1936 to form No. 5 Squadron RAF, then renumbered in 1939 to No. 9 Squadron RAF, as the aircraft catapult was not installed until September 1935. The Seagull was initially lowered into the water by the ship's recovery crane to launch under its own power. The catapult and Walrus were removed in October 1944. Armour aboard Australia was initially limited to an armour deck over the machinery spaces and magazines, ranging from 1.5 to 3 inches in thickness. Armour plate was also fitted to the turret's thick and the conning tower thick. Anti-torpedo bulges were also fitted. During 1938 and 1939, belt armor up to 4.5 inches thick was fitted along the waterline to provide additional protection to the propulsion machinery. Acquisition and construction. Australia was ordered in 1924 as part of a 5-year plan to develop the RAN. She was laid down by John Brown and Company at their shipyard in Clydebank, Scotland, on the 26th of August 1925. The cruiser was launched on the 17th of March 1927 by Dame Mary Cook, wife of Sir Joseph Cook, the Australian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and former Australian Prime Minister. The cruiser was initially fitted with short exhaust funnels, but during sea trials of Australia and other Kent-class ships, it was found that smoke from the boilers was affecting the bridge and aft control position. The funnel design was subsequently lengthened by 15 feet. The taller funnels on the under-construction HMAS Canberra were later switched over to Australia as she neared completion. When the ship's badge came up for consideration on the 26th of December 1926, both Richard Lane Poole, commander of the Australian Squadron, and William Napier, first naval member of the Australian Commonwealth Naval Board, disapproved of the design previously carried by the battlecruiser Australia, and requested new designs. On the 26th of July 1927, it was decided to use the coat of arms of Australia as the basis for the badge, with the shield bearing the symbols of the 6 states and the Federation Star Crest depicted in the design. No motto was given to the ship, but when the badge design was updated prior to the planned 1983 acquisition of the British aircraft carrier HMS Invincible, the motto from the battlecruiser Endeavour was added. The warship was commissioned into the RAN on the 24th of April 1928. Construction of Australia cost £1.9 million, very close to the estimated cost. Australia and sister ship HMAS Canberra were the only County-class vessels built in Scotland.